Hey, what's up, y'all? Tune in, tell a friend the Playboy Comedy, Mr. Trey Love is in. Let me tell you something. I got a very exciting show lined up for today. A very special guest. See, y'all know I usually do my podcast. I have on my little t-shirts and I be chilling and stuff, right? But I had to go ahead and get a button up, you know what I'm saying, and do a little, something for this lady because she is a legend in the industry. There's not one black comedian who I have met, talked to, or had any association with since I want to say the early 90s that has not said this lady's name. I mean, I want to say this, y'all. Everybody past Eddie Murphy, she's responsible for. I'm super excited, man. I'm geeked. And once I get into this interview, you all are going to be excited too. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, on the Listen to Lewis podcast, I have oh my God, the honor of interviewing the godmother of comedy. And without any further ado, I got to bring her to the platform. That's right, everybody. Miss Tina Graham, y'all. What's up, TG?
Hey, what's up, handsome?
Hey, how you doing, sweetheart? Oh, it's so good to see you. Tina, you know
I'm
I'm like
good.
I'm super geeked and excited to have you on my show.
I'm glad to be here.
It's funny because I was looking at different people, that I was going to have as guests, and then I was like, who should I premiere my show with? And I got some advice for some other people, and they were like, Trey, you're kind of doing a comedy podcast where you're interviewing comedians and stuff like that and people in the game. And when I mentioned your name, I ain't gonna say the homie name, but of course, another black comedian, he was like, oh, dude, you got to have Tina Graham first. Go ahead and
You
start
better
your
say his
show.
name.
Look at me, I ain't gonna say his name, but he was like, you got to start with Tina Graham and let everybody else fall under that. So I think that's what I might do, man, because you got me excited. I'm not gonna lie. First of
You
all,
know I
before we
got you. You
start,
always take care of me.
that's right. So before we start, Tina, let's talk about you. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Man,
blessed to be here.
blessed. Okay, okay. I'ma just tell y'all don't know. We used to call her goddamn Tina Graham behind her back, man. Because I'm gonna tell you something. This is one of the most. This a cutie pie right here. Don't let it fool you, man. Tina's something other else back in the day. All right. So let's go ahead and get this interview started. We're gonna start with this first question, Tina. What's something you wish you knew before you got into this industry? What is something that you wish you knew?
How big it would be.
Wow.
Yeah, because I got into it in 1980s,
Mm,
when we weren't on TV yet.
yeah.
Like I grew up in the 60s, so I came up with Flip Wilson
Wow.
and the Richard Pryor's and, the underground stuff.
Right, right, right.
We weren't on TV like that. Like Flip Wilson opened a lot of doors for like Richard Pryor
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
people like that. Then Eddie Murphy got his break with Saturday Night Live, but we still weren't on TV, like stand up wise.
That's right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
so true. It's funny, like studying the history of comedy, and I'm like I keep saying, I'm elated to have you because there's a lot of things that I'm sure um, younger comedians are going to watch this and want to know. So I want to say to anybody watching this, it's gonna be on YouTube. So please comment and ask questions in the description. And you guys know we'll have Tina Graham back to answer the questions again. That's right. I just got me a second interview. I did that. I did that, y'all. Y'all saw me do that, right?
I saw you just slid that in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like what? We'll have her come back and answer the questions.
I got you.
Of course. Okay, the second question is, what is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
Uh, my biggest failure probably would have been not monopolizing the situation when I had a chance.
Yes.
I do things, freely. I didn't put a
Yeah.
number on it or anything. So I wasn't able to monetize it. Like
Yes.
everybody made money off
Hmm.
of it, but me. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I get
Wow.
I get gratification
You know
knowing that
that
I was a part of their journey. You know.
and like I said at the beginning, your name is synonymous with black comedy. I mean, it just goes hand in hand. Like when I say everybody from anything that spawned, any of us that spawned after Eddie Murphy, every comedian I meet, it's like, oh, Tina Graham, Tina Graham, Tina Graham, Tina Graham, oh, Tina, so it's like your name, even before I met you, I knew you. as a black comedian. So
I
serious.
get that a lot.
So
That's funny.
serious. So serious. Never laid eyes on you, but your name was so synonymous with comedy until it was just like Tina Graham, Tina Graham, Tina Graham, so yeah, that's definitely when you say
We
how
kind of
big
clicked as soon as we met, though, in person.
we did.
It's just
We did.
like we
We
knew
did
each other forever.
forever. And then you said something too. You said you wish you knew how big it was. It's a lot of people that are having viral hits now. And so I want to say this, taken from Tina Graham. I kind of want to interject this question. If you knew then what you know now, what would you have done different? How would you have, what steps would you have taken to kind of profit from what ended up happening?
Well, I would have probably got into more of the television side for as producing, maybe management, but I had my hand in the management thing because the
Mhm.
Brown brothers from the Uptown Comedy Club, which is where Def Comedy Jam came from, actually gave me
Wow.
my first break.
Wow.
Yeah. Bob Sumner introduced me to the Brown brothers. I had a
Okay.
club in Linden, New Jersey. And I
Mm.
was doing talent shows. I was always behind the scenes you know, with talent, but it was music and
Mm.
fashion. I
Mm.
combined all of it together later on,
Music
but that's
fashion.
another story.
It's
But
ironic.
yeah, he was Bob was a DJ at this other club in
Mm.
1988, 89.
Mhm.
And he came by my club and he said, I'm gonna introduce you to the Brown brothers. You can do comedy at your spot because I had a stage where I
Wow.
used to do talent shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he introduced me to Andre Brown, and they, I became one of their clients, so they became my client, however you want to put it. And
Hey,
Hamburger actually was my first host.
hamburger. I love hamburger,
I did
man.
a lot of fashion shows, so I would
Yeah.
use comedians as
Yes.
comic relief at my fashion shows, from Bill Bellamy,
And you still do that, right,
Hamburger,
Tina? Don't you still do
Jay,
something
all
like
of them. They
that?
used to actually be the comic relief before I started doing the actual
Wow.
comedy shows.
You still do that, don't you? You still do the comedy and fashion thing?
Actually, I took it. The Brown brother, actually, Monterey Ivy, God rest the dead. He was one of the cast members on the TV show.
Okay.
And when the show ended, I was trying to start something else. We're trying to reinvent ourselves. But the club was
Absolutely.
still there. The Uptown Comedy Club was actually a comedy club where it started
Wow.
out as Sunday night at the National Black Theater in 1988.
Mm.
It was just one night when they got the TV show, they actually opened up a comedy club on 125th Street.
Wow.
So one day I was just like, kind of like in a little funk, like, what's happening next? So I had to come up with something. And Andre Brown said, why don't, you used to do the talent shows and the fashion shows. You like doing that, right? I said, yeah.
Mm.
He said, you like comedy, right? He said, combine the two. So I put
Wow.
the comedians on the runway
Mm.
in 1995. They weren't even
Smart.
famous then.
Smart. Genius.
From Tracy Morgan, Flex,
Genius.
Mike Epps,
Genius.
everybody did the fashion show. Arnaz, they started coming from all over the country just to do the fashion show.
Genius.
Monique,
I'm gonna tell you a piece of advice you gave me a long time ago. You said I remember you said this a long time ago. I was like, Tina, I do a little singing, I do a little of this. You say use everything, Trey.
you have to
you
use
said
everything,
you
yeah, to
said
stand
use it
out. Yeah,
all.
because
Yeah,
everybody can get up there and tell jokes.
right.
But if you got an extra gift, that
Mm-hmm.
helps. Look at Jay
Mm-hmm.
Lamont.
Yes. Oh my God.
He's
Oh,
fantastic, man.
fantastic.
And it leads you to something else, like even with Jamie Foxx. He came
Mm-hmm.
for music,
Yes.
but comedy got him there.
That's right. That's
And he
right.
ended up doing music anyway.
Mm. You know what's
And no
funny?
matter what he does, he still
He
does
still
music. Look
he
at
still has
look at
music.
Ray.
Yeah.
Even on the Jamie Foxx show, he ended up singing on the show.
Yes, yes. It's funny because my next question was going to be, what advice would you give a up and coming? Guess what, y'all? I don't even have to ask the next question because there you go. Use it all. Tina Graham said it.
Use it
Use
all,
it
yes, use it all.
all.
You stand up to stand out.
Wow.
If
Stand
you
up
don't
and
have
stand
like a
out.
gimmick or something like that, which I don't really like gimmicks because that's not stand
Yeah.
up to me.
Yeah, I know you don't like
I
gimmicks.
need to
Yeah.
have a point of view. Or if you got any type of talent that you can, intertwine with it, especially music.
Yeah.
It's all entertainment. There's a
Yes.
guy named Cedric the Entertainer.
Entertainer.
He used
Wow.
music in his act a lot because Cedric can actually sing
Right.
and
Right.
dance.
And dance. Oh, oh man, he built that. Cedric built that.
So it became part of him and part of his name. So,
Yes, it did. Cedric
and you
did
know
his
what I like
thing.
about Cedric? Got the same
Mm.
crew he started with.
Wow. Wow.
From
Yeah, that
St.
says
Louis,
something.
yeah.
That says something. That speaks volumes.
It
What have
does.
you?
Steve Harvey does too, to a certain extent, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love Steve.
But
Shout
well,
out to
his
them, man.
manager passed away back when they had Showtime at the Apollo.
Yeah. Oh man.
Actually, that was my first gig.
Showtime at the Apollo. Tell us
Yeah,
more about that.
actually,
Tell
the
us more about that.
directors for Showtime at the Apollo were the
Hmm.
same directors for the Uptown Comedy Club TV show when the deal fell through with Russell and the Brown Brothers. Oh, I did a
Wow.
documentary on this.
Oh, this is good. Oh, hey, y'all,
It's
we
going
getting
to be a documentary movie now, but I did it back in 2012.
wow. We getting
And
all the
then what's it called
pre
came
information.
he's
Uh-huh.
God Tori is actually in my documentary.
That's
And
amazing.
then he came out with Fat
With
Tuesday
Fat Tuesdays. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God.
years later. Because
From
he did
LA to
that
New
one
York.
last year.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. It came out last year.
I did the documentary in 2012. Him and Joe Torre is on it.
Mm,
But see, my
mm.
documentary goes back to how the Uptown and Def Comedy, all that shit started.
Yeah, man.
Excuse my French.
No, hey, no, hey, we can get down on this podcast. You can be free. Just be yourself.
Yeah, you
So,
know I'm a cusser, so
hey, y'all, Tina Graham said it first. She's a cusser. Around comedy
it
for
might slip
40,
out once
50
in a while. You
years, you
know, when
go
in Rome,
cuss.
you know.
Exactly. So, what have you like? This is interesting. What podcasts or blogs? What does Tina Graham listen to that inspires her that nobody would know about? Not AM, FM, cassette radio, and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about stuff like different podcasts or something you've read lately that you get inspiration from. What inspires you?
I don't really watch a bunch of podcasts. I'm on a
Mm,
lot of them. As
oh
soon
my
as I go
God.
on one, somebody will call me and say, "Can you come on mine?" It's like they're
Yeah.
listening to wherever I'm going.
You know
You
what
know, but
makes
I
that
do like if somebody invite me to come in, like IG Live. I
okay.
do like TikTok.
Okay, you like TikTok.
I like TikTok when it's education. I don't like the
Mhm.
buffoonery.
You know what I like
Yeah.
about the way you answered that question because Tina, I'm dealing with some stuff. You know how we find ourselves growing, and I catch
Mhm.
myself like you see how we're podcasting. I would if I wasn't podcasting, I'd be sitting here watching TV, and I kind of catch myself like, dude, you're watching TV. You should be creating TV. So I like that answer. You like, hey, look, I don't really watch them. I'm too busy being on the motherfuckers. Y'all see what I'm saying? So I like that
But it's
answer.
good for you because you have the gift of gab.
Oh, thank you, thank you,
See
thank you.
me, I don't even like speaking in public.
Oh,
But I started a podcast in 2011 with a friend of
okay.
mine. He
Oh,
had two of them on this network called Artist First in
okay.
2011. I was so scared to do it. He said,
Yeah.
and this is before they had the visual stuff.
Mm.
And I would go face. That's when Facebook used to have stuff scrolling up on the side. You knew who
Yes,
was on
yes,
and where they were
yes,
at the whole night. It'd be
yes,
scrolling up on the
yes.
side. They got rid of that, but
Yeah, they got rid of that. They sure
it
did.
was actually audio.
Wow.
So he created it for me because he wanted me to be able to monetize my knowledge.
Yes,
So he said, start with who you know. So he
yes.
set it up. It was an hour.
That's
I called it
awesome.
Comedy
Okay.
After Dark. And
Wow.
I would interview the comedians, and because I had access to everybody's Def
Everybody.
Comedy Jam,
Everybody.
I would, and it was only 3 minutes. So I would interview them. They would come on. They would call in,
Hmm.
but you can hear us. You can just listen to the show. It was like
Right. It was audio. Yeah, yeah.
on the radio. So
Right.
I would interview them, and I played 3 minutes of their set. This is before Foxhole.
Wow. S-
Yeah, and so it was a thing where I started. He said, "Start with people that you know." So I did Michael Blackson, Tony
Mm.
Roberts, Melanie Camacho, uh, um, Tony Woods, Joe
Wow.
Torre. I had some every week,
Yeah.
but see, it was Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Tina, you
So I
are
didn't think anybody
connected.
was listening.
You are connected to everybody in this game. Like it's
And it got to
crazy.
the point where it was so
Wow.
much stuff about me and my relationship with them.
Yes. Yes.
It was like, yeah, Michael Blackson said, Tina, you put me on my first 4 TV shows. I was like, I did? And the guy was like, you don't know what you do for comics?
I think you should, Tina. You know what? I'm gonna put this on out there. I think you should like do a little sizzle reel for a reality show because you got something to play with. You are Tina Graham. You could
Actually,
do, yeah.
I've been asked to do that,
Hmm.
but somebody asked me recently, like last week, for me to start um doing like the Tina Graham story.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's pretty much Mike Epps, pretty much.
Pretty
So,
much. Wow. Yeah, I mean
he's getting ready to
everybody.
open a club in Detroit, so
I
it's
had no
called One
idea.
Mike.
Wow. Okay.
So get
Here's
ready to come out and stand up
Hey,
now.
and Tina, let me tell you something. I ain't scared to fly no more. I'm ready to go anywhere now. I remember
Let
you
me
had me
find
hooked
you
up
was
with
ready to
something.
fly. Ain't
I,
you
you
from
know,
Florida?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I was going through something at that time, Tina, but like life has blessed me so much. And I just want to say this before we continue. This and just to not to change the mood of the show, but because of who you are, my Boogie B, my David Arnold, my Teddy Ray. Yeah, let's not get teary eyed. I'm just having a moment
You
here.
know, I done
I'm
lost
over
so
here.
many
That's why I put my
assignments
shades
playing
on.
around.
That's why I just put my shades on because Jack Knight, this 2022 coming into this new year has really been somebody said something at Boogie's memorial service at the Laugh Factory. He said,
I wish I could have been there, man.
"Oh man, they let me tell you, they celebrated him and uplifted him so well. Trey Elliott, shout out to him for doing an amazing job. I was like, now see, that's a best friend right there. The way
That was his
he
best
just
friend, yeah.
he took control, and I mean, he did a fantastic job. I mean,
Did
I was
anybody
so
record it?
impressed. Yes, it's recorded. It was on YouTube. It's on YouTube Live.
I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, it's on
I
YouTube
mean,
Live.
is it permanent on there?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, go to
Because I
Trey
hate that I
Elliott.
missed that.
Yeah.
I met Boogie B back when I was doing Who's Got Jokes. He
Mm-hmm.
came up here from New Orleans.
Yes.
He came to New York first.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He came to New York first. He said, I heard of you. And he was just so
Yes.
sweet. He came with some other guy. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you drove all the way from New Orleans? He said,
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to meet you.
Yep.
So I just kind of took him under my wing. He auditioned for Who's Got Jokes at the Laugh House when it was
Mm-hmm.
open.
Mm-hmm.
And that was back, what, 2009?
Yeah.
And it's a picture with me, him, and Bill Bellamy.
Yeah. He was crazy
I
about
posted
you.
like a little video thing with me,
Yeah.
of our journey together.
Like I said, when I say
And
he
then
was
he ended
crazy
up
about
coming
you,
to the convention.
yeah. Yeah, like I say, the boy was crazy about you because we would always talk about you. You know, that's somebody that I was close to, and when we talked, it would be like he would. I'm gonna tell you when he said your name, he would. You know, he never said like Tina Graham. He go Tina Graham.
I know
You
that
never
he
asked
was
me.
the nicest guy ever, man. I'm
Man,
telling you.
it's
That hurt my
tragic.
heart when
Oh
y'all. I said this can't be true.
no, no. That's
This
what.
can't be
That's
true.
what
I
was.
mean, between Marcus
Yeah.
Combs and
Yes.
I lost.
Yes.
I get so close to the comedians. You guys are like family to me.
I mean,
Honestly.
you are the godmother of black comedy. Like you are. When I said what I said at the beginning of the intro, I said every comedian. Let's just go right here, y'all. Let's start with Eddie Murphy, and from Eddie Murphy, everything that spawned after that, everything you're part of. I mean, Tina, your hands are in so many. I look at the mic, like you say, people that like legends. Bill Bellamy, Mike Epps, Joe Torre, Guy Torre, Steve Harvey, everybody that you can name Eddie Murphy on, you literally not even, and it's funny because you are so big that just like Boogie, I've heard other comedians say the same story. We just want to be around you, even just to be able to meet. Okay, well I'm over here with Tina. Like, hey y'all, when Tina come to LA, I have Tina at the bar with me, and I be looking at the rest of them niggas like, you better back the fuck up. I'm over here. You see us over here enjoying ourselves. Go sit down somewhere. She's busy. But yeah, you have a connect with everybody. And then what was so I want you to speak on David Arnold a little bit if you don't mind, because I took his class. I had a friendship and bond with David, and uh his special, I just watched it maybe a week before the incident. And Tina, I literally watched a guru grow because he was already great and magnificent. The first special
Yeah.
was great. But what he did with the second one, this ain't for the week. I watched my guru, the teacher, take it to another level. Like when he did the part where he sat down and did the old man and stuff, I was like, oh my God, look at David. And for it's like, Tina, how do you feel about the fact that it's as if he was at the top? His dates were through the roof. I mean, we all work hard to get somewhere. Like, what's your hey, we can edit. That's
My
why I was
camera
pre-recorded.
fell.
It's pre-recorded. Hey, but I'm gonna keep that in there. That's gonna be a blooper. But anyway,
I'm a
I
little
gotta
goofy.
hey, aren't we all? But yeah, how did it feel to see one of your spawns? Because again, we all fall under that Tina Graham umbrella. How did it feel to see one of your spawns literally get to the pinnacle of what we all worked so hard for, and to just leave us like that?
Well, I didn't really know David like that.
Okay.
David was pretty much West Coast. I'm East Coast.
Yeah, yeah.
But David was a comedian's comedian.
Yes.
He didn't have any enemies, just like Boogie B. You got these
Yes.
comedians that are very unselfish
Yes.
and very talented, not
Mm,
in just the way of comedy, just a way with people, period.
mm,
And he did things from the heart. He talks about his growing up and what he went through
mhm.
in this game.
Yeah.
This is a tough game, man. You gotta have tough skin in order
Tina,
to
you
make it,
told
man.
me that. Oh, now I gotta say this. You told, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Tina Graham told me that same exact statement she just made. She told me that in I want to say 1990. Well, Monet was born, so it had to be 99 or 2000. But I'm gonna tell. Oh, Larry gonna love this story.